Hi there guys, it's Jamie at Crafted Landscapes. Just putting together a video today for you. We're discussing 10 key points to consider when starting a landscaping business. All of these items are, just through experience of starting my own business up. Obviously the list is probably definitely a lot longer than 10, but just to try and keep it short and simple for you today. And if you are looking to expand or learn a little bit more, it could be useful for you to look at. All right, so we'll get on with it. Number one, the first thing you need to consider is your business name. Took me a few times to get the right name. As your business develops, you might take on different jobs and offer different services, so you want your name to represent what you are doing. It wants to be short, snappy, stands out from the crowd, potentially have a tagline in there that's a little bit memorable. So people can pick up the phone, they think, oh, Crafted Landscapes, I know what they're about, whatever the name might be. And just keep it short and simple, I think. Number two is location. Obviously, you're going to start off, more than likely, it's going to be close to where you are based as a business, because obviously you've got fuel costs and things like that to consider. But look at where is the wealth in the area that you are located. You want to be working for people that can pay you on time, haven't got any trouble with larger budgets, depending on the projects that you're working on and what you're interested in. And obviously look at the size of gardens. That's quite an obvious one really, but people do forget, bigger the garden, more than likely more projects that they're going to need doing. So have a look at that. Get on Google Maps, it's quite a good way. Look at property prices, and establish where the specific sort of locations you're going to start off with really. Once you've established the location that you're working in, number three is sort of doing a bit of market research on who's going to be your competition. So you can look online, obviously look on advertising, magazines, all that sort of thing. And actually what I did when I started out was I gave them a call, called other businesses and asked for sort of, looked at their websites or gave them a call and asked for a quote on a specific job like turfing or cutting a hedge, whatever it might be, and just write down what their costs are and for what sort of jobs, and then you start to get an idea of what other people are offering and whether you are going to find a niche market that's not already out there, or compete with them and undercut their prices or offer a better service than them. So that's number three. Number four is looking at the services of what you're going to provide. So whether that's going to be maintenance. Maintenance is good to start off with because obviously it's a low setup cost, and it's quite easy to get sort of started on the maintenance side of things because it doesn't require too much experience. It could be grass cutting, hedge cutting, strimming, clearance, that sort of thing. And you can quite quickly get regular clients on that side of things, especially throughout the seasons. You will naturally progress into the hard landscaping side of things, just through working in gardens, doing maintenance. A client might say to you, oh, can you come and put up a shed or fix the fence or do a concrete base, and you'll gradually build up the confidence to take on bigger projects. It can be more profitable because you're dealing with materials and a bit more risk associated, but it's more rewarding from my point of view. And then you've got obviously the soft side of landscaping, which is the planting too. Crafted landscaping scapes also deal with the design side of things, and that's a whole other subject. If you want to learn AutoCAD or whatever software it might be, a 3D program, you can really start getting involved with the projects and charging, you know, more money. But yeah, whole separate video for design, I think. Number 5 is branding. So obviously you want to get your business to stand out from others, and from the offset decide how your business wants to be represented through a logo, whether that's, you know, bold colours, something quite unique and outstanding. You might want to get a graphic designer involved, but if your initial sort of costs are quite initial investment and money is quite low, you might consider doing it yourself. That's what I did to get going, and then after a while, as you grow your business, you can get a professional involved to do your vehicle graphics and header plates on your you know, your letters and all that sort of thing, on your uniform as well. So number 6 is advertising. Now, advertising is what's going to get you to work, and it's going to get you paid, obviously. I'd say 60% of our work comes through online social media posts and people commenting and getting in touch online, basically. So I can't stress enough how powerful sort of Instagram and Facebook can be. Set up your social media and use your strong brand that you've had designed, your logos, and put that out across all of your platforms. Make sure it's consistent, and post jobs, you know, try and be quite consistent with, you know, it might be that you've only done a couple of jobs to start off with. You might have helped your mum and dad do a fence, or you've cut someone's grass, but take your time, take some decent photographs. And people do get sort of annoyed that they don't seem to be making any traction with social media, but I think it's all about being consistent and regularly posting, and people get familiar with who you are and what you do. Yeah, so just keep it going, and once you've sort of got a bit of traction, I think it's very much worthwhile building a website that becomes almost like a home, an online home for all of your social medias to link back to. You can put more information on there, build up project portfolios. I built my own website using Wix, so I can highly recommend that. I can do a whole other video on website building, because it's quite a lot of information there. And don't disregard the traditional way of, you know, handing out leaflets and word of mouth. Get out on your local sort of shops, other businesses, hand out business cards, something that's high quality. Don't go for a cheap and nasty sort of poor quality paper. Make sure people know that you're you know, you mean well and good, and you're an honest person, and you want work. Basically, you're motivated to get it. People can put a face to a name that way, rather than just seeing you online. Okay, moving on is tools and equipment, number 7. I think if you've got a low startup budget, the maintenance is quite a good way to get into landscaping, and the tools that are involved are slightly cheaper. So you're looking at all your hand tools like rakes, spades, shovels, set of spanners, all that sort of things, not too expensive. You do want some mechanical tools, and I can't recommend Stihl. It's the German make. It is expensive, but it's one of the best on the market. They very rarely let you down. And the one that I use is a combi system, so it's one engine, and you can get so many different attachments for it, like a strimmer, a hedge cutter, pole pruning saw. It's very useful, and if you've got all those, a blower and a mower, you can pretty much set up your maintenance business overnight, really. I'd say an investment of £1,000 to £1,500 would be enough to get all of those items. You don't have to go for the best, but if you can get it from the outset, it means you're not having to buy again when they break down, which I have seen through other people's businesses. Number 8 is transport. Now, it's going to probably be quite a big outlay, and it depends what you want to do, whether you want to get a truck or a van. I actually started out, when I first started working for myself, with a Suzuki Jimny, which, if you know what that is, it's a very small little Jeep, 4x4. It's got a tow bar, so I had a trailer, and I just adapted it to suit. So I put a roof box on there, took the seats out to make room for my tools. Yeah, and it worked. I had for about 6 to 8 months before I could invest in a truck. I've now got a Land Rover Defender, which is brilliant. It's all racked out with tool storage and all that sort of thing. But yeah, it just depends on what budget you've got and how much you want to invest, really. If you haven't got a car, or if you haven't got the money to get on the road, it sounds silly, but you can, if you're working locally, start off just on your 2 feet. Walk next door to Mr. and Mrs. Smith with your mower and start working. Put your hand tools on your rucksack. It is possible, so don't worry if you can't afford vehicle at first. You'll soon get there once you get a few jobs going together. Number 9 is pricing. Can be quite daunting at first, pricing jobs, because you obviously not completely sure how long things are going to take. There's two the most common ways are an hourly rate or costing it on a lump sum. So an hourly rate, you want to be looking at anything between £15 to £20 an hour to start off with, I would suggest, because you've got such things as your business insurance, fuel costs, wear and tear on your equipment, and obviously the time it's going to take you to do. £15 to £20 an hour is a minimum. Or you price it, say if it's a hedge that you're cutting, you say to the client it's going to be £60. It might be that you get it done in an hour, so you are taking a bit more risk, but you can earn more money in that way. That's what I've found. Until it's just through trial and error, really, until you've done a few jobs and you know what you're capable of and how quick you can undertake different tasks, you'll soon get a feel for how much money you need to earn and what sort of jobs take what sort of time, basically. So make mistakes, and once you've made them, don't do it again, and just work out what's best for you and to make a profit. Obviously, if other people are working for you, labourers, you need to factor their costs into those hourly rates as well. Number 10 is actually undertaking the work. So it's very important that the obvious ones are turning up on time. Some people get confused with dates and times. Turn up on the day that you said you were going to come. Obviously keep a diary and write everything down. It can be very annoying for the client if you turn up, even if it's 10 minutes late. They might be waiting for you to give you a key or show you something that they want doing, and it doesn't take long. You can build a reputation up quite quickly, a good reputation, but obviously you can very quickly ruin that reputation by a couple of bad happenings. So turn up on time, have the appropriate clothing, right, decent footwear, all weather trousers and coats. You don't have to keep stopping if it does rain, and just be respectable to the client's property and garden, really. Carry the jobs out in a safe manner, and if you get a chance to talk to the clients, try and be friendly with them and polite and get to know them, because they're the people that will probably keep giving you repeat jobs if you do carry out a good project, and they'll put your name out there, and you'll soon build up a network of people that you can keep going back to get more work from. So anyway, that's the end. That's 10 key points that we've discussed. I'll just recap each of those for you. So number 1 was business name, number 2 location, number 3 competition, number 4 services that you will offer, number 5 branding, number 6 advertising, number 7 tools and equipment, number 8 transport, number 9 pricing, and number 10 is undertaking the projects. So I hope you found this video helpful. Obviously, like I said at the start, it's a list that's not extensive. There's just the things that I have found to be useful. There's a lot more than 10 out there, obviously. But it might help you get going as you start your business. Things to think about, really. If you've got any questions, contact me on jamie@craftedlandscapes.co.uk, or come and visit our website www.craftedlandscapes.co.uk, and obviously follow us on social media, subscribe if you can on YouTube. Just search for Crafted Landscapes. Alright guys, speak to you soon. Cheers, bye.